This is kind of a strange situation. Hello and welcome to another episode of introducing the speakers of the Lifestyle Design Convention. I just had a beautifully inspiring talk with Morten Hake, and we decided afterwards that we're gonna make an episode out of it to introduce the speakers. What you will hear is us talking about very kind of hippie-ish concepts, you may think. But just let it soak in. Try to take out some stuff, and yeah, it would be awesome if you take the time, the 10 minutes that it maybe takes, or the 15 minutes, and listen in. And even more importantly, be a part of the Lifestyle Design Convention in January 2015, 10th and 11th of January. Like, subscribe, whatever you would like to do, and enjoy the episode.
I would be delighted to share my gold, and I really believe it's gold. I'm going to talk about it. I would talk about how we are living in the feeling of our thought generated experience moment to moment. And when people get that insight on a deep level, and few of them will, then, and maybe even if the whole room tunes into that energy, they might get a true insight, like a paradigm shift, like a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm pointing to. And then all of a sudden they wouldn't take their experience too seriously anymore, because it's all just thought generated. It really is. Mm-hmm. And because we're creating and experiencing our experience all the time, this happens in a moment which is not even time. So we don't know that we are creating our own experience, and then we're experiencing it as something outside of us. So we believe that feelings are coming from outside of us. Yes. But in fact, there's really... So when people get this on a deep level, and I'll lay it out, and pace and lead people towards it. And if and when they get it, it literally they drop their shoulders and go and like a real insight, and a real insight, as changes everything across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
no, cool. I'm sure we can manage that. That you will have some time to speak. What I wanted to add is when you said that it's mind, you said it's mind generated. Did I get that right? So it's thought generated, the experience.
We experience our thoughts. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because what I imagine, like, a lot of things that we see as experience is not actually experience. So there is that we put into it. It's all illusionary. It's all that bullshit. Like Brad Blanton calls it the bullshit machine, right? Who starts putting meaning on it, starts make it bigger, smaller, whatever, puts a rating on it. We compare it to all the other shit, and if you realize that that your mind is not, it's not helping you most of the time. It's completely against you and your happiness. When you can distinguish that's what a lot of people talk about.
Who talked about that?
Brad Blanton, Radical Honesty.
Yeah.
It's and I didn't get it when I read the book completely, and I did the workshop, and I still don't get it completely. I don't experience it a lot of times. But what you hear me say a lot of times is the word "I imagine," because I realize that, or I try to make myself realize through language that I imagine. It's not.
But it's not possible through language. But I get it.
So for example, instead of saying "I think you're wrong," is say I imagine you're wrong, because it's all in my head anyways, and it's your reality, my reality. I can never make you see my reality, and the other way around, it's not possible. So why not just work on that imaginary level that it is anyways, right? So I like that very much, and I think it is a fucking suitable topic, because it goes very deep, and it goes very close to the place that I'm working right now with truth, with honesty,
Yeah.
It's something that is very, 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 very important, I believe.
Yes. And this is like, if you want truth, this is like, this is closer to how life works than people think. Like, this is the new paradigm in psychology. This is just a new paradigm. It's just a new consciousness shift in humankind that is going to take some years, but it'll happen. All of us are life, like you just said, the oneness kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in tune with that oneness, that automatically, like, that is life in essence, and that life attracts other life. Other life attracts to this life, and they want to, that's just like evolution. So that I see that happening. So and that's that. And then when into the money situation, I used to think a lot, worry a lot, overthink a lot. I was at one point I was like, you use euros, right? So in euros, I was like, 100, no, not 100, like 80,000 euros in minus. And
Beautiful.
then yeah, and then 7 months later, we're 30,000 euros in plus. And all of a sudden, like, we didn't have money, and then boom, we find a wallet, and boom, we didn't have money, boom, we find another wallet, and then we talk to them, and they want to give us the money. Like, stuff like this happens all the time, just like synchronicities, because we are the creator of our own universe. Then when we kind of let go of that idea, and all of a sudden you're creating in a flow of life. You're creating with flow. It's effortless. It's just happening. I don't have time to want something before I already have it. Like, that's what's happening these days. Yeah, and also it makes no sense to because we only have this moment. It no longer makes sense to spend those moments ruminating and overthinking and worry about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not something I do. It's not something like, okay, let's not think about this. It's just that has apparently dropped away since this insight. So I worry less, I overthink less, and I ruminate less. And that, when you're overthinking and worrying less, there's more space for inspiration and ideas and being creative and working in the flow without all the thoughts popping up. So all of a sudden, yesterday I wrote a sales letter in like 2 hours. And I know, okay, that happened. And it's almost like I observe myself doing all this, but it comes from just, yeah. That's the closest thing to explaining what's happening these days.
Yeah. I think you have to experience it to, like, it is something that you cannot, like, there will be a point where you cannot explain anymore with words, and that's completely fine.
It's like I'm talking about it's like I'm talking about someone else. It's like I'm talking about the guy experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm experiencing it, the experience to me looks real, it always does. It's the best special effect ever. The illusion looks real. The matrix looks real, But I experience it, and I'm having a blast experiencing it. But I don't take the credit for it. I don't take the credit. That's what I said before I told all this. Is like, now I'm going to start bragging because it's not me. It's really not me. I'm just, holy shit, what's happening? It's just coming through me, and I'm experiencing it, and I'm super thankful for it. But it's not. I don't take the credit for it. And it's trippy, and it's awesome, and it's the perfect lifestyle. Yeah. And I want to get this through to your people. Anyone else, that's the only thing I talk about.
No, I think it's great. What I said before when we got disconnected is that a lot of people will see this and they will think like, what the fuck are those guys talking about? Like, hippie, what kind of hippie shit is that? But it is really like, it probably, it seems a little bit advanced, but I think it's something that I want my listeners to hear. I don't need them to understand fully. I don't need them to like completely be on the level or something, but I want them like, and now I'm speaking to the listeners, I want you to be open for this stuff. And when you are, when you think like, I don't understand, but somehow it seems right, that's already good, because then you're starting to be in tune, and the more you hear people talking about it, the more you experience it yourself. You're like, oh, that's the thing that Morten Hake guy talked about, you know, like it's being in flow. I feel it now. Maybe I should do things like this more to be in flow, you know. And then slowly but steady, you're like, oh fuck, now I'm there. Now I'm there.
All of a
as well.
sudden, because the breakthroughs happen when people are not trying to figure it out. Because when you try to figure things out, you're within your understanding. You're like running in the same room. You're not going outside of the room. So, I mean, people, yes, definitely. And yes, they don't have to understand. And also, I will lay it out way more easily and slowly and more understandable. And for people when I talk about it, but
that's amazing.
People start getting it, they go fucking subatomic, and this can happen in an instant. My friend, two weekends ago, we went on a camping trip with my friend, and all of a sudden he's like, holy fucking shit, and then he got it, and then after that he had rants, like he had some like inspired talks, like just like not even him talking, he's just like observing the words after he said them, like when you're really in the flow.
Yes.
And those words that he said, and he has been like a client of mine for 3 years, struggling, you know, and then finally got it, and all of a sudden the words he is saying is more wise than you know, the word any guru, any Osho or meditation super shaman or coach or whatever. It was just that, you know, it was just spot on.
Yeah.
It's just spot on. I was like, holy shit. He went from, you know, a guy who didn't even like double think and worry about stuff. He was like triple thinking and considering suicide. Like he has thought about that many times. He was like alone in an attic in the dark on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, like completely like super depressed guy. Just like jumped in time and had a paradigm shift that now he is enjoying life to the fullest. I'm getting Snapchats and messages from him and pictures all the time, just like singing in the shower and doing jokes and everything. And at the same time, you know, like tuning in to the perfect vibe, like speaking sentences that I'm like, oh, he's blowing my mind right now. Like the same guy 2 days later.
Yeah,
that's
just
beautiful.
Yeah,
It is
and
beautiful.
it is so cool when you have those moments where it speaks through you. I think that's a very good description of what happens. Sometimes I start speaking and I just trust that like the wisdom will come, and it is not my wisdom. It is just like woof, and then you're with, oh, now it's happening. And you're like, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like, oh, I can learn a lot from that guy. You know, like, it's like, I've never thought of it that way. And I think that is what's happening is sometimes when you don't know, just start talking and it will, like, it comes through you. It's really beautiful. And I also feel very much in flow when that happens to me.
Yes. For people who have, like, whatever goal they have or whatever they want, whatever desire they have in life, you know, even if it's on the one side, like they want to have nothing and sit on a rock and meditate their entire life, or they want the full, you know, jet set lifestyle, whatever they want, the flow is, you know, the best tool in the world. Then you're going to have fun in the process. You're going to achieve more. You're going to be more productive. You're going to be connecting more easily. You're not going to get stuck in worrying thoughts and negative patterns and stuff like that. It's just going to be a game. The entire life is just going to be like, how can I experience more? How can I create more? How can I have more fun? And then just you do that. And there's no boundaries. There's no limitations. There's no mental blocks there. It's just like, okay, I am whatever the realization is, and then boom, from there.
Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a rather spontaneous thing. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, and hope to see you soon live at the Lifestyle Design Convention 2015. Enjoy your day.